Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Northampton Township Board of Supervisors meeting. It's Wednesday, October 23rd, 2024. I'd like everybody to stand for the Pledge of Allegiance, and we'll have a moment of silence tonight, specifically remembering those that have succumbed to breast cancer and all horrible cancers in our past.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. You'll notice tonight that many of us are wearing pink, and that is just our little message to show our support for Breast Cancer Awareness Month. We have done this every year in October, and we think it's a great cause to keep out in front of everybody's attention. We'll have two opportunities for public comment this evening. The first opportunity is for agenda items only. If you'd like to speak on an agenda item, please sign up at the back of the room. And then we'll have a second opportunity for public comment, which will be the end of the meeting. Also, please sign up at the back of the room at Pardon me, and I'll recognize you and call you to the microphone at the time. Do we have any public comment for agenda items? Alex Nagy is with us this evening. He's the assistant to the township manager. Thank you for helping us out tonight. Joe Johnston.
Joe Johnston, I am a resident. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Good evening, everyone. In August meeting, I submitted and read into the record 5 questions. And those minutes were approved in September. I was unable to make that meeting, go online, and I noticed that the questions are not part of the permanent record. When I submitted them, the first thing it says is questions submitted for the record. So, Mr. Chairman, can we have the secretary explain the rules for submitting this stuff so I can see what's going wrong and kind of avoid doing it again for submitting things for the record?
Okay, is that it?
Yes.
Is that your comment? Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
All right, so I'm going to submit them again.
Thank you.
And I'm going to sign them. I don't know why they weren't.
Thank you. Hand those over to the township manager. Thanks. Next up is consent item, approval of the minutes. Paula?
Okay, Mr. Chairman, if there are no objections, I request that the minutes from September 25 be approved by unanimous consent.
Thank you, Paul. Any discussion on that? Accounts payable, Kim?
Yes, I have the bills list for October 9th, 2024. Total all funds, $3,447,467.02. And I have the bills list for October 23rd, 2024. Total all funds, $548,562.84.
Thank you. Any comments on that? Thanks. And just one final housekeeping item. Mr. Pizzo, our solicitor, is part of a firm that is kind of breaking up a little bit. But we're staying with Joe, and just as a name change, we just want to make it a matter of record that we'll now be with Joe Pizzo and Associates. So does anybody have any other discussion? If not, I'll accept a motion to accept the consent items as presented.
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
No discussion? All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Next, we have public hearing. First up, I'm going to open a public hearing. This will be to consider an ordinance to amend various sections of the Township Code related to stormwater management. Bob?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. In summary, the proposed ordinance amends the stormwater management requirements to require underground stormwater management system for single lots. The intent is to prevent property owners from being adversely affected by having individual depressed basin facilities on their lots. If I may make a motion.
Please.
I move to approve Ordinance 620, amending the Northampton Township Code, specifically Chapter 23, Stormwater and Grading, Part 5, Design Criteria and Requirements, for the purpose of adding allowable BMP design and construction criteria for residential uses.
Is there a second?
I'll second it.
Before we have any board comment, is there any other public comment on this? Because it's a public hearing, I'll open that up for the room. Okay, any board comment? Bob?
No, sir.
Kim?
Nope.
I think it's very efficient of us.
None for me. All those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you, Bob. Next up is Barry, consider authorization to advertise an ordinance to amend the township code related to motor vehicles and traffic.
Sure. So this ordinance amendment came to us from the police department as a public safety issue. They want to have a no parking zone on the northern side of Tree Line Drive and also on St. Leonard's Road. This is directly across the street from the ball fields on St. Leonard's. Apparently, a lot of people are parking right in the intersection there, and it's very difficult for people to make that turn there. So the police department came to us and made a recommendation. So if I could, I'd like to make a motion for advertising for a public meeting.
Please.
So I move for advertisement of a public meeting on November 20th, 2024 at 7 p.m. at the Township Building, consider an ordinance amending the Northampton Township Code, specifically Chapter 15, Motor Vehicles and Traffic, Part 4, General Parking Regulations, Section 402, parking prohibited at all times in certain locations, to establish a no parking on this portion of Tree Line Road.
Is there a second?
I'll second that.
Any discussion, Barry? Anything else?
No, the only thing I just want to commend the police department for bringing this to our attention, and they did talk to the residents there, and this is something that the local neighbors are requesting, and it's a public safety issue, so I fully support it.
Paula?
Oh, no.
Kim?
No, I'm good.
No comment.
And none for me. All those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. No unfinished business. We'll just go right to reports. Kim?
Okay. First, I'll talk about Parks and Rec. The Parks and Rec Department has begun to offer new programming at the Senior Center. An introduction to Mahjong class and a printmaking and watercolor class are in full swing this fall. In the winter, we'll be offering sewing, knitting, and crocheting during the day as well. We will also be on the lookout for new exercise and art opportunities in the evening, as well as a full menu of special events in 2025. Our Fall Festival in September was canceled due to inclement weather. Remember that weekend that it rained so hard? We are rescheduling and looking forward to offering a spring festival in May. More details to follow. This Saturday, October 26th, is Northampton Township Parks and Rec annual Halloween happening. Children and families will parade their favorite costumes, visit Scarecrow Row, and vote for their favorite scarecrows from the community. And the first 500 participants will receive a Halloween treat bag. And the best part of all is our supervisors will be dressed in costume and judging the Halloween costume. So come and see the supervisors also dressed up in costume. Okay, now, the Senior Center. The Northampton Township Senior Center is a state-of-the-art facility dedicated to promoting aging as a positive and rewarding life experience. If you're age 55 or better, stop in and check out the wide variety of programs and activities the Senior Center has to offer. It's the perfect place to help you stay active, build friendships, and have fun. There's something for everyone: exercise classes, dance classes, art, book clubs, bocce, darts, shuffleboard, billiards, table tennis, coloring club, cards, mahjong, and so much more. The center offers trips at a discounted rate and special activities for members, including our annual holiday luncheon at the Northampton Valley Country Club on December 17th from 12 to 2. This event features entertainment, dancing, and games, along with a fabulous meal. Tickets go on sale November 1st at the Senior Center. Not a member? Not a problem. Feel free to stop by the center for a tour and information about joining. Mark your calendars and join us on Friday, December 6th from 5 to 8:30 for our annual holiday marketplace shopping event. Are you a crafter or artisan? Vendors wanted. Hope to see you at the center. And I just want to mention one thing. I know this month is Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and I just want to remind all our residents, please do your self-examinations. It's very, very important. I lost a very dear friend of mine this summer, and I just want to remind everybody to keep vigilant and check yourself. Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks, Kim. You're welcome. Sure. I'll talk about the Veterans Day celebration. It's going to take place on November 9th at the Civic Center, which is near the Rec Center. Basin 2 is where it's taking place. It's far down on the driveway, past the ball fields. It's considered a soccer fields. I was asked to make this announcement. The Liberty Warbirds Association is flying in a United States Army Huey helicopter. Okay, the Huey helicopter was widely used in Vietnam during the war. 900,000 wounded soldiers were medically evacuated by Huey helicopters. The helicopter itself is considered the pickup truck of the helicopter industry, and it has a turbine engine, which makes it so powerful. So Veterans Day program, look forward to seeing that helicopter. The program starts at 11 a.m. on November 9th, and that's it for the Veterans Day. There is a wreath laying on it's Saturday, December 7, at 11 a.m., of course, at Union Cemetery. Okay, we lay the wreaths, of course. We have a formal ceremony, including a firing squad, to honor our fallen heroes. So that's a nice, hopefully it won't snow or rain. Okay, then I have the library report as of October. The strategic plan update. The Library Board and the Strategic Plan Committee would like to thank the Board of Supervisors for their support as the Free Library of Northampton moved forward with the first step in our branding initiative. The library is partnering with a local firm, Swell is their name, and have our initial kickoff information gathering meeting next week. Okay, and just an update about our adult programming. We have a basic computer instruction, and we have 5 classes on Monday afternoons. At the same time, we renewed our partnership with Parks and Rec by offering computer classes for Microsoft Word and Excel in November. These classes are provided free for the residents. Okay, on November 2nd, we have Mike Ivanovic provides an antique roadshow program. And you can bring an item that you want appraised, and he will do that. It's between 1 and 3 on November 2. And then finally, November 18th at 6 o'clock, the Heritage Conservancy presents the program Unique Habitats in Bucks County. That should be fun. And that's it. Thank you.
Thank you, Paula. Bob. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'll start by saying I was rushing from my office and running a bit late, so that's why I don't have my pink on this evening, so I apologize to everyone. By way of reports, I'd indicated in the previous 2 months that I would provide, such as there is one, a monthly update as to what I'll call the PFAS issue, and I have nothing of particular substance to report. I've been in touch with the Water Authority as recently as this afternoon. I will say I'm pleased to see the coordination among local officials, our federal officials, politicians, and the authority. It's been all hands on deck, and I'm pleased to see everyone's taking this seriously. But this is a results-based world, and until we have results, everyone needs to keep their feet on the gas. So I've been assured everybody on their side is, and we are certainly monitoring that as closely as we can. That's all I have other than to say have a happy Halloween. Please be careful whether you have children or whether you're driving out there. There's kids out there after dark, including mine. Please be extra cautious.
Thanks, Adam. So the Planning Commission met on October 8th to consider land development on 27 Alms House Road, which is right next to the Bank of America drive-in on Alms House. It's a small vacant piece of land there, and there's a proposed building, just under 1,000 square feet that's proposed. So that should be before this board, probably sometime in December for land development there, but it's been vacant for a long time. Zoning Hearing Board met on November 11th to consider several appeals, mostly on residential properties. The mill race, I keep talking about that. We're still moving along with that. That did go to the Planning Commission. I believe that'll probably come back to this board sometime in December for final submission and approval, and we'll have a public meeting on that. And then just the last thing I'll say is that the Redevelopment Authority of Bucks County has issued an RFP for the retired and vacant police building, and that RFP will be due back November 13th. So it's a very comprehensive request of expression for interest from various developers, and it's on their website, and you can get information on it. Now, though, we'll have the results sometime in November 13th. That's all I have.
Thanks, Barry. A couple things from me. First of all, we had a very successful firehouse opening and dedication last Saturday. We had a lot of great speakers. Many people from the public came to hear the dedication. It's exciting because that doesn't happen very often, and I was really happy to see how many people came in for tours and really learned and understood what their local fire department is all about. So thanks to everybody that supported us. Thanks everybody up here that came. Thank you to the township staff, Bob, Bill, Alex, all the people that really not only helped to make the day nice, but spent the last 4 years working really hard to make sure that the facility was right and came in for what we needed. So thank you to all of you for that. One thing you'll notice if you look at the township, the digital signs in the township, there's a warning about excessive heat and fire danger right now. We're in a serious lack of rain, drought. A lot of the reservoirs are low, and a lot, with the fall coming, a lot of the leaves and needles and things that have fallen are very dry. We're really saying there should be no open burning in the township right now. Really refrain from doing that. If you have any questions about that, contact the fire department or the fire marshal's office. But now is not the time to have any open fires for any reason if you can help it. That's all I have for tonight. Manager's report.
Just one quick item. The administration is working on the 2025 budget, putting the final bows on it. I will be presenting that proposed budget to you at the next meeting.
Thank you, Bob. Assistant Manager, Bill?
Nothing tonight, thank you.
Thank you, Bill. Solicitor's report?
Yes, thank you. The record should reflect that the board met in executive session this evening, immediately prior to this evening's meeting, for about an hour. Present for that executive session were the 5 members of the Board of Supervisors, the township manager, the assistant township manager, and me. 2 matters of pending litigation were discussed during the executive session. No official action was taken by the board during the executive session, and no official action was required at this evening's meeting as a result of that executive session. Other than that, just thank you for your earlier action this evening. It continues to be my pleasure to represent this board and this community, and I look forward to continuing to do it into the future.
Thanks, Joe.
Thank you, Joe. Engineers report, Amanda.
And just one item to report tonight, and that's that we submitted on behalf of the township the annual report that's required as part of our MS4 NPDES permit, lots of acronyms, but as a reminder, that's the Municipal Separate Storm Sewer System. So that report was submitted on September 30th, and that includes all of the inlets and piping system within the township. And that's all I have.
Thank you, Amanda. Next up, some public comment. Again, Joe Johnson.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Joe Johnson, I'm a resident.
I'll let you know as you get close to 3 minutes.
Okey-doke. So anyway, I'm again speaking about the sale of the police station. We had appraisals for a new building of 530 square feet, 830,000, 880,000 for the existing building, and just for the land was 750, and the price that we're agreed to sell it for was 880,000. Now I question why we came up with a 5,030 square foot building when the maximum allowable of building on that land would be 20%, and that would be an 11,000 square foot building. And what I'm trying to get at is that going to affect the value? Could it make it higher than the 880,000 that we're selling it for? So I got a copy of the appraisal, okay? And on the second page, it says right here. And by the way, when this was first explained in June, there was about how the process was never mentioned that there was an offer on the table. So here's the second page of the appraisal. The reader is advised Northampton Township has received a proposal from an adjacent parcel owner located on the northeast corner of 2nd Street Pike and 332 to acquire the subject property, demolish the improvements. The proposal assumes to be C2 zoning, and they want to build a 5,030 square foot building. And it says it again in the appraisal on page 16, 17, and 44. Now, on page 18, it says something pretty interesting here, and it says, it is important to note that the appraisal process does not include the following: a detailed highest and best use analyst. Okay, so again, I'm questioning, and I don't expect anybody to have the answer, but what I was hoping to hear was that we can call the appraiser and find out if we build out the 20%, if that affects the value. And all I've gotten is pushback. Okay, I'm being accused of not knowing what I'm talking about. I don't understand the issue, among other things. You often say, Mr. Chairman, that this is open government, and you want people to get involved in their government and stuff like that. And when you come and ask you just for some simple information, and you just get no response. So again, I don't expect any responses tonight. But I do hope those questions get in for the record, and that's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you, Joe. Next, Ken Gruber. You can either stand at the mic or the table, whatever you like.
Hi, my name's Ken Gruber. I live at 124 Hilltop Drive. I really came to discuss the water, but Bob already took care of that. So I go to all the meetings trying to find out if they're going to do anything. My concern is people both sides of me, they're both getting water from, wherever. And I don't understand all the people I call get no response, none whatsoever. Talk to Fitzpatrick, you name it. I talk to everybody, and it just seems like it's going nowhere. I heard, I think November, I guess it's 4th or 5th, they're going to have a decision. They're trying to get other funding. If they can get other funding, then they're going to do the whole area. I hope that comes true, but I don't know. I just can't believe it's a health issue, and I know it's not your guys' fault, but it is what it is. I don't know how to overcome it or what to do. So, I can't sell my house because nobody wants a house, and so it's an issue. So, thank you.
Thanks, Ken. You want to mention anything? The only thing I could just to kind of wrap up, especially just really adding on to Bob, everybody, we're working with all levels of government. We're banging on a lot of doors. We're making a lot of phone calls. And we're going to keep on it. This board is dedicated to do that. We dedicated ourselves to and committed to the folks that have come to the meetings and the people that have contacted us, that we'll keep putting pressure on to get what needs to be done down there. the wheels of the federal government are like molasses. But we are very much on our radar, and we do appreciate you coming here tonight.
You have to use the mic.
Yeah, you'll have to use the mic, but
The last meeting I was at, what I'm concerned about is if, say, the Navy takes water, goes down our street, it doesn't mean they're going to do every house. I mean, that, right there, that's, there's a problem. So I don't know if something can be done, because they're saying they don't know who the Navy picks. So there has to be, I'm really concerned, because on both sides of me, people across the street, they're all getting water, so I think my well's bad. I mean, I'm not drinking the water, but it is what it is, so.
no, thanks, yeah.
Has your well been tested, sir?
No, it hasn't. What do you call it? The lady next door to me, I'm calling all these people, and they said, we'll get to you, and they never come out. So I don't know if I should do it privately. I don't know. That's the,
It would be very helpful.
That's probably not a bad idea.
If you did.
okay.
If you go to our website,
Okay.
there's some good information, and part of that information is Pennsylvania DEP certified labs that do that testing, right? That's on the website, right, Bill? Yep, it is there.
Okay.
So you could pick any one of them. It's unfortunate that you have to do it on your own, but it may be
may expedite.
beneficial for you.
Here's the
And-
list right here.
Oh, there's
Yeah,
the
actually,
list.
take my list.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. Did
And,
you receive the letter from us?
Yes, I did.
Okay, the list was attached
Yeah.
to that.
Yeah, so it's right at the last page of the list.
And it's totally up to you, but if you do that, if you could share the test results with us, we're trying to kind of keep track of that. That would be great.
Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you for coming. Is there any other public comment? Hello, can you just tell us your name for the
My
record?
name is Rosemary Ricardo.
Hello.
Hello, I'm back again. I was here in May. Is Roberto? Nothing's been done.
I owe you a phone call, I know that.
Yeah, you didn't answer me. I'm going to give you this letter that was put out by Mike Solomon. I'm still having a problem with the creek behind my house. That was in May. And this went out July the 8th. Nothing has been done. Nothing. If anything, it got worse. My one neighbor, here, watch it.
Here, give it to me. Thanks.
Yeah, we have it, we have it.
And unfortunately for you all, I'm very tenacious, okay? So I will be back until something is done. My neighbor to the one side, now this is a quality of life issue, okay? And I don't know how much life I have, and I'll be back. Only thing that'll stop me is if I surrender my soul, okay? My neighbor on the corner, trees have now fallen from the side of the creek, and they're leaning on his dilapidated fence. I have been paying for years now to get their trees cut off of my property, their dead branches. We're talking 53 years I've been there. They've been there 33. I don't want to pay for them anymore, okay? If this tree, the root is, here's the creek, this tree's falling over here and resting against their fence. They cut off the top of it, but it's still across. The only person that did anything is my other side next door neighbor. I have another neighbor, and I love her. Nothing. It is unbelievably mangled. We haven't had rain. I think this is the longest stretch we haven't had rain since 1880. But in case, you're going to use those drones to find me while I'm cleaning out the creek, because I'll be floating towards the Delaware. It's not right. It's just not right. And then there's a house on on Cedar, 140 Cedar. You cannot see the front door. You have to come out and see it. It is in full bloom. You have a landscape company. Maybe I can hire you. But you can't see the front door. It is so dilapidated. I didn't know I was living in a third world country. You know, this has a problem. I have a problem. Because if I do surrender my soul, my kids have to sell my house. And I would like them to get the most value from it. So see what you can do, guys. I did call and I talked to Mike Solomon. There's 4 bridges still going over, and Roberto can tell you, one of them is so rickety, he didn't want to walk over. I said, we can walk over. We don't weigh that much, right? We took the next bridge up.
Okay.
Right, Roberto?
Thank
Okay.
you for coming. We'll take a look. Bob will make, Roberto will make a
Roberto.
couple comments. Did you have anything else? Because then we'll just,
I want to show you this, okay? Because this way you can see what my current situation is. Oh, and the fencing, oh my God. All right, here.
how about if we take a look at this and then Bob will make some comments, is that okay? Roberto.
See this? This is the tree that fell from the other side of the creek and is resting on his,
Okay. Thank you.
I'm teaching him Italian also.
It's work, he's getting there.
I'm glad to hear
He
this.
is getting there.
Come on, kids, you know? I'm too old to get the chainsaw out because that's where I'm at now.
All right, thank you. Thank you for coming tonight, too.
Can I get my letter back or do you?
You can take it
You
back.
can have it
sure.
back, of course.
Okay. So much for a letter.
Okay.
Okay. Bye, girls. See if you can persuade.
Okay. Just-
Because they're used to being nagged. Yeah.
Well, there's a couple things that I can comment on. The township does not have a property maintenance code. So with regard to the home that has overgrown front yard, there's nothing we can really enforce. That is really up to the homeowner to take care of. If there's a safety issue, we may be able to get involved, but if it's just an aesthetic issue, we have no authority to do anything. If there's a tree that's falling on that's leaning on a fence that's on private property, and if it's not impacting or impeding the flow of water in the little creek there, that is a private matter between the property owners. The township has some authority for impediments to the flow of water in the waterway, and that actually is a DEP issue as well. So we have some authority there, but if it's simply trees leaning on somebody's home or on an adjacent property owner's fence, or even potentially falling on an adjacent property owner's house, the township doesn't have the authority to do anything about that. It's a private matter. So
Can I ask a question?
you need to use the mic.
What if that tree,
Use the mic, please.
if that tree breaks loose and it floats over to my property, then it's my tree. So I would have to
That's
do
correct.
something.
That's correct. That's correct.
Okay, well, if I have my chainsaw out, I'm going to do a lot of something.
If it impedes the flow of the water in the waterway, if it falls in the creek and it's blocking or it's creating a flooding situation or a damming situation, and obviously we haven't had any rain.
Right.
But if that did create that kind of an issue, we have some authority to require that it be kept clean.
But it has the potential, okay? Because
the
it's
potential.
lower than their bridge that broke loose and created a dam on my side.
I don't want to give you legal advice.
No, you're not. I have a son-in-law. He's on the Middletown Board of Supervisors.
Okay.
So I can go ask him. Naturally, he'll be getting me out of jail on bail after I do my chainsaw.
He's an attorney, that's
Yes.
good.
I'm lucky. I have a couple of good ones.
Good.
But this is, I am a military widow, and I'm 73, and I'm still building my Gambian wall. Okay, give me a break, guys. Let's just clean up what we can do. You said that you're going to look into maybe building another retention basin on the Pickering side, because that's a...
Building, cleaning out the basin that's already there, and perhaps looking at hydraulically having it store more water than it currently is designed
Release it.
to install. And that's been a project that I've given to Public Works to look at.
Because up in Upper Holland, 2 developments up, they have retention basins that have those hydraulic pumps that are timed. So it's
It's not pumps, it's just cleaning up the
that's
basin.
not pumps. What do you call it, drains or something?
It's
What-
the outfall structure.
Right. All right.
It needs to be cleaned out, and that is on their list to do.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for coming.
And Roberto, I still look forward to hearing from you, and you're welcome to come over anytime for cannoli and tea.
How do you get cannoli? Thank you. With no other business, the meeting is adjourned.
Thank you.